Hey guys, Colorado Dave here, just putting together a quick video, trying to show you something a little different today. I want to talk pocket clips. Um, I see a lot of videos from you guys. I'm a newer enthusiast who's only been doing this for a few years now, and watched a lot of videos from you guys online here on YouTube. And I've learned a lot about my knife steels, about the ergos, about you name it, just all there is to know about this cool world of pocket knives. And in the process, the one thing that keeps coming up in these videos a lot that, to be honest with you, in my opinion, I think is getting a little bit overplayed. And that's the reason I'm doing this video with you guys today. I want to talk pocket clips because I got some nice knives out here, as I know you guys got a lot of nice knives as well. And it always seems to come down to, yeah, this is a great knife, but it needs a better pocket clip. And I kind of got to giggle a little bit, guys, because I think we make way too big a deal about the pocket clip and about how it carries in the pocket. When you're talking about some of these steels and some of these designs and some of these, everything that goes into these knives as far as the tolerances, etc., and we get so hung up on these damn pocket clips, I just don't get it. I also struggle a little bit with the games that we're playing in this aftermarket with pocket clips as well, with the companies like MXG and what's the other one that I like so much? KC Lynch. I like those clips a lot as well, the Lynch clips. But anyway, in that breath, let's move forward here a little bit and talk about a couple of my knives and clips and stuff. The reason I guess I'm kind of bouncing around on you guys here a little bit, but the reason that brought this to me wanting to do a video on it is this knife right here. This is the very first knife I want to talk about, and I'll tell you why. Because everybody has made a huge deal about the pocket clip on the Spyderco Drunken. And this is the Dmitry Sinkovich model. If you guys aren't familiar with it, it's a gorgeous knife, one of my favorites in my collection. I'm not going to get into the whole knife today, but I will tell you that it is just a phenomenal knife. You can just see how smooth and glassy this thing is. It's phenomenal. It's got a detent ramp that just makes this thing so stinking smooth. It's unreal. It's got S90 V steel on it that's been polished with a stone wash that's just gorgeous. And then everybody looks at it and tells you how awesome this knife is, but the reason it's no good and you shouldn't own it is because of the pocket clip. And I'm like, I just don't get it. But in that same breath that I'm talking about this one, and talking about how horrible the pocket clip is, which we'll get more into detail on a little bit, everybody takes this knife, which I also love, don't get me wrong, which is a phenomenal knife as well. This is a Chris Reeve Sebenza 31. This is the small version here. I do have the large as well. It's in the shop right now. But this is the small. I see so many praises on this pocket clip online, and I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't love this clip. I know a ton of people love this clip. They say it's the favorite clip that they've ever used, that it's got this great tension on it that's perfect. To me, it's almost identical to this clip as far as trying to put it into your pocket. This here, what everyone's complaining about is it's very tight, which I get that. Okay, you can go like this and stretch it a little bit if you absolutely needed to. I haven't had to. Just naturally from wearing it and using it a little bit, it's broken in fine. But right here, you can tell where this indentation is and it hits your pocket. Sometimes your pocket can get caught up a little bit right here when you're putting it in your pocket. You give it a little extra push, it goes all the way up. It's not a big deal at all. The clip looks fine, it looks nice, it goes with the knife. I am totally okay with it. If it really bothers you, yeah, get a custom clip. But to me, I'm fine with it. I think this clip actually is a pretty good clip, and I'm actually totally okay with it. I don't see all the hate on this clip. I'm just not getting it. And this knife, man, to me, this knife is underrated. Even though it's got a good rating and a lot of people love it, I still think it's underrated. I think some of these higher end knife guys, a lot of them have blown it off and put it off to the side. And I'm telling you, out of all the knives that I have handled in my life, this has got to be in the top 3 as far as action of anything I've ever held. It's just so nice. It's so smooth. It's beautiful. The workmanship is gorgeous, as far as all the milling and everything. I don't get it. But then in that same breath, when everyone's ripping this knife apart because of the pocket clip, they're praising this knife. And this one, it has that same really tight tension on the pocket. For me, it's too tight. I have to use 2 hands to put this knife in my pocket, unless I want to go like this and stretch the clip, which I don't want to do. I want to naturally let it break in. And to be honest, this one's harder to put in my pocket than this one. So I'm not getting why everyone's so in love with this Chris Reeve clip, but they can't stand the Spyderco clip. And this is the main reason I'm doing the video. I brought a bunch of other clips out because I do want to talk about the other ones I like and don't like. But I will tell you, this one right here, this battle between these two, I don't get it. Because both these are so strong with people having opinions of this being the best clip ever and this being the worst clip ever. So that's why I started with those two. But those are my opinions on those two. There's a lot of other clips I want to talk about here. I guess we can just start right here at the beginning over here with the ZT-0308. This is what I would look at as more of a standard ZT clip. Let's bring it over here onto the camera better. I would look at this as more of a standard ZT clip. Basically in your pocket, it's going to go up to about here. Your knife's going to stick out a little bit. On a knife this big, this is obviously a bigger knife, I am totally okay with that. It's very easy to grab. It's really easy to take in and out of your pocket. I actually like this clip better than both of these clips from the standpoint of it's easy in and out of the pocket, yet it holds the knife in firmly in my pocket. I have no issues whatsoever carrying this knife. This is a very heavy knife, so it could, you need a clip that's going to hold it. And to be honest with you, this clip works great. There's no issues with it whatsoever. The only thing I would say about ZT and their clips that bothers me a little bit, since we're talking clips today, is I don't like all the marketing they do on their clips. I'm not anti-marketing. I love what they put on the blades. I'm fine with all that. I have no issues at all with the ZT on the blade. I don't like it on the clip because when I have my, when I'm carrying it, I don't want everyone necessarily knowing I got a ZT knife in my pocket. Some people maybe like that. For me, I don't. I like to be a little bit more discreet. So anyway, so that's my deal with that, but that's a great clip. Very, very good clip. No issues whatsoever. This is an awesome clip. As you know, Spyderco was the inventor of the pocket clips. So obviously they have some insights and they put a lot of effort and energy into, designing the clip and the technology that goes into the clip to make it as useful as possible. The reason I brought this one out is an example of, there's a couple reasons. One, this knife, if you're not familiar with it, this is the Spyderco Caribbean. This happens to be the sheepfoot version with a titanium clip. Why did they put a titanium clip on it? Well, mainly because this knife's 100%, pretty much almost 100% rust resistant because of the LC200N on the blade itself. As I understand it, I think all the components internally, the bearings and everything are all rust proof as well. So they wanted a titanium clip. So this knife would truly be a rust proof knife. This is a cool knife, by the way, guys. Really, really cool. But that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of this clip, this is another one. Really, I love the design. If you notice, if you see right here, this isn't very high, so you're not going to catch it on anything. Yet it's high enough to get your pants in there and to get underneath it. This slides in and out of your pocket like a breeze. And one of the reasons is where the tension is right here, where it's up against the I don't know if I'm blocking it, where I'm going up against the knife itself with the tension of the actual clip. You can see where it lands right here on this thick flat part of the actual design. So obviously it was designed for it to hit that flat part. What that does is when you're putting it in your jeans, it just makes it slide in and out so much easier and it doesn't get caught up on these ridges at all. So this is a great clip. This, in my opinion, there's a lot of thought that went into making this clip, and I think this clip's great. You could argue, you might not like the color. Maybe it doesn't match up with the knife perfectly, but for me, I love it. I'm 100% satisfied with this clip. I'd never change it. No reason to. But that's what that one's about and why I wanted to talk about it. Now let's go into another ZT and let's talk about just a deep carry clip. I would say this is probably my favorite clip that I've ever seen from ZT. Probably one of my favorite clips of all time. And this is on the 0562. This is the ZT 0562. If you're not familiar with that, this is the full titanium. Rick Hinderer design, CPM 20 CV. Beautiful knife. This is one of my favorite knives in my collection. I love this knife. I do carry it. I enjoy it a lot. This is a great knife. But this clip is phenomenal. I really, really like this clip. It slides in and out of my pocket like a breeze. It's obviously a deep carry clip. I don't have to have a deep carry clip. I know some people are like, every clip has to be a deep carry clip to hide their knife. Some knives are better with a deep carry clip, and some knives are easier to grab out of your pocket not being a deep carry clip. So I think I trust a lot of that to the designers that are actually making the knives, and I try to respect what they've put on the knife as a clip. and to support that and to see if I like that. If for some reason I don't, I will make a change, which I will show you a knife that I had to make a change on. But this one, wow, what a great combo. This one fits in the pocket. It goes all the way in. You barely see the knife at all. What they had done different on this, if you can see this, the clip actually bends around and it actually goes on the inside. So it gives you that true, full, deep feeling. They're not trying to, so you don't have any knife sticking out at all, because they literally bent the clip right over into the frame of the knife, which is awesome. And it just makes for a really, really, really good in and out of pocket experience that I would put it up there as one of my best clips. So that's what that one's about. This here's another Rick Hinder, just to give you an example. This is on the ZT side as well. Yes, I like my ZTs. But the difference with this clip is, this is more the traditional Hinder clip, which is the reason I wanted to show this. You can see that the knife's not gonna carry as deep in your pocket. You're gonna obviously have more sticking out. Now, this isn't a bad thing, you know, depending on what you're using your knife for and your environment and everything. Sometimes I prefer this because you have this little part right here to grab onto that's sticking out of your pocket. For me, when I carry this knife, I just grab it from here and it yanks out of my pocket so damn easy. And then because you have these carbon fiber inlays, it's so smooth getting it in your pocket. This is a really good clip too. It really is an excellent clip. And from what I understand, this is the same design as the Rick Hinder clips that he uses on his knives as well, as this knife is his design. So I find this to be a good clip. This clip works fine. I could see where somebody might want a deep pocket clip on this, and I could understand them switching to that if that's important to them. For me, this one's fine. Going on down the line here. Sorry guys, I'm trying to move these really tight because I got a lot of knives out here. This is my first real knife when I got into this crazy world as far as kind of taking my knife love to the next level. This was the first over $100 knife that I ever bought, and this is my Spyderco Para 2. Blacked out, as you can see, with the CPM S30, the standard. I actually bought this in Golden at their facility. I love this knife. That's got my edge on it. This one's got a lot of heart to me just because it was my first. But I brought this one out just to show you the standard. This is more or less your standard Spyderco clip that everyone's pretty much familiar with. I like it on the Para 2. I know a lot of people like to switch to the deep carry clip, whether they get the Casey Lynch, whether they get the MXG. But you know, those are the two main companies that I see out there that are promoting the Spyderco clips to do the deep carry. For me, I tried a deep carry on this one. I didn't like it. I went back to the original. I just think this clip is just awesome as far as the way the tension is on it and the way that it, you know, how it butts up against my pocket. It's just easy in and out. I don't know how else to say it. Maybe could give you guys a little more details about the mechanics of building the clips. Sorry, I can't. I don't know. I can just tell you what I like and I don't like, and I can tell you this one I like. Yes, it does stick out of my pocket a little bit, but again, with this being a bigger knife, that doesn't bother me. Not at all. So that's a nice clip as well. I do like the standard Spyderco clip. I have no issues with it whatsoever. I'm going to take this Spyderco, the Para 3 now, which is another knife that I love. This was probably my most carried knife last year. And this is the Maximate version. And again, the reason I love this knife is the action is just so damn phenomenal. I love it. But the deal with this clip is, and this clip there was a ton of controversy on, and it was basically the same clip as what you see on here on the Para 2. And it just didn't work on this knife because where the screws are, it brought the clip like way up here, and it basically stuck out of your pocket about this far. So you had about almost a quarter of the knife sticking out of your pocket on a smaller knife that you're trying to be more discreet with. It just also had ergonomically, it really didn't fit my hand very well. There were a couple hot spots on it. Not that I'm a big believer that I'm going to use my EDC knife that hard that I have to worry about hot spots, but I want it to be comfortable in my hand, and I didn't feel like it was overly comfortable. This is a Casey Lynch clip. This is probably, this and MXG, like I said, are the two companies that are doing the aftermarket clips that seem to kind of have that Spyderco world wrapped up pretty good on getting a nice clip to make up for what Spyderco had done on the original. And again, the lanyard being the issue here, that's the reason the clip became an issue on this knife on the design. Again, I wish they wouldn't have had the large lanyard in there. I'm not going to beat a dead horse because a lot of people have had videos on that. Yes, I'm not a lanyard guy. I'd rather just see the clip up in the corner, but it is what it is. If you put this clip on it, this knife is extremely, extremely comfortable in the hand for me. It just fits right in the exact spot to where I don't feel that clip at all, zero. Whether I'm holding it this way or I'm holding it this way. I really don't feel that clip. I feel it, it's like, it's obsolete. As far as the way it goes in and out of the pocket, It slides into the pocket super easy, but yet it's tight enough it's not going to fall out on you. It's just not going to fall out on you. I love this clip. I think it's a great clip. My personal taste, I like it better than the MXG clip. I just think it's a better looking clip, and that's just my personal opinion. So for me, that's why I picked this one. I actually have another pair of 3 that's a blue one, and I got the blue clip on that one as well, and I love it just as much. So this is like I said, this is a heavy user. This was my biggest used knife last year, and I do love it. It does have my edge on there, by the way. And for all of those that say that Maximit's impossible to sharpen, I'm sorry, I tend to differ. I just did this on my KME, and this thing sharpened up beautifully, and holy cow, does it hold an edge. You can see my knife's got a lot of patina going on because I use it, and that's fine. I have no issues with that at all. But great steel, by the way, guys. If you've never messed around with the Maximit, highly recommend you trying one. But I do like that Casey Lynch clip a lot. And that's, I think, the only knife, it's one of only a couple knives, this one right here, that we're getting to, that I've actually had to buy a custom clip or wanted to buy a custom clip, had any desire to. But we'll get back to that in a minute. Let's go on to the next one here in line, which would be the Spyderco wire clip. And in my opinion, forget about the looks of it for 1 minute. If you talk about practicality, this is probably one of the best clips on the market. This is another one. It just slides in and out of your pocket so easy. It does its job. It holds it in the pocket. As far as the goes, I mean, it's like it's not even there. It just, for me, it fits perfect where I want it to fit. Whether I'm holding it like this or I'm holding it like this. It's a great feel in the hand. And it does its job. And it's, it's not the main focus of the knife, and it shouldn't be, But this is a really practical, great clip in my opinion. And by the way, this is one of my all-time favorite knives. I love this knife. The Caparo by Spyderco. Great blade. And the action is, I'm not doing it justice right now, but the action is just awesome on this knife. I really like this knife. I am a culinary guy, so I like to, and I don't need to use my pocket knives in the kitchen, but I play around with them just for fun, and this is one that I definitely play around in the kitchen with as well. We already talked about this. I'm not going to beat it too much, but this is my Spyderco Drunken, and again, one of my favorite knives in my collection, hands down. The clip on this, to me, I'm totally fine with it. When I first got it, yeah, it was tight. There's no doubt it was a little tight. I pulled up on it a little bit. I did do a little bit of that. Not a lot, just a little. And it's still on there, very tight. That clip, it's not coming out of your pocket when you put it in. But I can slide this into my pocket with one hand, no problem. I cannot do that with this Sebenza. And, it's not that I'm trying to rip on my Chris Reeve, because I love Chris Reeve, but, and being a new fanboy, actually, I'm on the newer side with Chris Reeve. I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but I'm not a huge fan of their clip. I'm just not. This clip, again, I would say reminds me of this clip a lot. Just the way that it's got that really heavy tension on it, and getting it in and out of your pocket can be a little bit difficult. So I'm not into that 100%. So it doesn't make it my favorite clip, but again, if I put it up against the Chris Reeve, I would still take this over this. I know that sounds crazy, and I know a lot of you guys are going to say you're nuts. That's fine. Tell me. It's cool, dude. We all got an opinion. It doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just what we personally like. Let's talk about my ProTech here. This is my Strider SNG collaborated ProTech / Strider project. This is not the clip that came on it. This is an MXG clip, so I do like MXG for certain clips. I just didn't like it on the Spyderco. I think this is a gorgeous clip. It matches up perfectly with this knife. The clip that came on here was actually it had the sandblast on it, and I actually I got a big old scrape on it like the first day I had it, and I held the knife. I scraped it right away in my kitchen on the counter, and I'm like, crap, I want to get another clip for it. And that's the biggest reason why I started looking for a clip, because I was going to make the one that came on it work. We'll get back to that in a second. But so I looked this one up. I found it at MXG. I ordered it right away. They called it, I want to say they call it a powder black is the color they call it. And it's a perfect match for this knife. So if you do have this knife, or you have another ProTech in the black, this one matches up perfectly with the coloring. I think this is a gorgeous clip. I think it was made for this knife as far as I'm concerned. And I think it just, look at my hands, they're all oily. Sorry, guys. But anyway, I find this to be just an awesome clip, and it slides in and out perfectly. It's definitely made it a deep carry clip to where it carries this deep. When you get this knife with the clip that comes with it, which is a Strider clip as I understand it, it is a titanium Strider clip that Strider makes for this collaborated effort. And that clip is going to carry like way down here. So you have about this much of the knife sticking out if you use the clip that comes with it. I should have pulled it out before I did this video. I didn't. I still have it, but it really carries very, very high in the pocket. And because it's got the big fat butt on this knife, I didn't like it because it made it hard to get my hand in and out of my pocket because of the fact that it has so much width here. As it went deeper in the pocket, it made it much easier to get my hand in and out of the pocket. So I think on this knife, in my opinion, this clip is 100 times better. If you have this knife, consider getting this clip. I mean, I really, really believe this clip is a better fit. I also, for me personally, I like the black on black with the clip versus having the sandblast color, but that's just, again, that's just aesthetics and it doesn't really matter. But as far as the actual usage of the clip, this is a better clip, hands down for me. We already talked about this. This is one of my favorite clips. I really, really do like this one, the Lynch clip. Nothing really else to say about that. We already went there and did that. This clip here, it's got that double detent so that you're gonna get that tightness on it. I don't like the ramp on this. It's just so high. You can possibly catch it on something. I haven't yet, but I could see where you could because it is pretty high up. But the biggest thing with me on this one, and maybe it'll change as it breaks in, and I'm gonna end up telling you guys in 3 months that I love it, it's just the tension is too tight on it for me. And my other large Sebenza 31, I felt the same way. I just feel like the tension's really tight on the knife. And to the point of where I have to use like 2 hands to get it out of my pocket, which I don't like. And I'm sure I can bend that up a little bit and change that. I just haven't done that yet. And we'll see. I probably will, but we'll see how that works out. I'm not going to change the clip. I will definitely keep it on here. I don't feel the need to like put something different on, but I'm just not overly impressed with the clip. You know, that is what it is, guys. Not trying to rip on Chris Reeve. I'm a huge, huge fanboy, so please don't take that the wrong way. This is my Hinder half track, which is a lot of fun as well. This is, again, if you can notice, it's got that same shape of this knife right here, which is your Hinder clip. Okay, so this is your Hinder clip as well, but you can see this has a little different base. The Hinder clip seems to have that roundness to all his clips. It's got that more round circle at the end, which makes it easier to get in and out of the pocket as well. I feel like this is a dynamite clip. It's easy to get in and out of your pocket. Again, it's going to carry a little bit higher, but for me, with a knife like this, that's not always a bad thing. It's a small knife. It's not that wide, so it fits in the pocket, no problem. What that little bit of extra that's out of your pocket does, it gives you something to grab onto. So I always grab it from here. I don't grab it from the clip because that keeps it tight when you're pulling it out of your pocket. I grab it here and it makes it that much easier to slide out of your pocket. So for me, I think this is a great clip. I have no issues with it at all. I think it's a really nice clip. This is another one where the action's just awesome, guys. This is a great knife. This one I babied. I haven't done anything with this knife, to be honest with you. I've babied this knife. The couple scratches you see on there are hanging out around my house in the kitchen because I have a tendency to rub up against the cabinets like an idiot, and I put scratches on my clip, but that's all that is. For this knife, talking about clips, and I definitely should have pulled it out for this video, and I'll probably bring it out and you guys will see it at another time. I did buy a custom clip for this from the Rick Hinder website, and it's one of the gear clips that they have, if you've ever seen them, and it's got this battle blue on it. And then it's got all this bronze that you see. It's got 3 gears that are bronze that go over the top of it. It was ridiculously expensive. It was stupid, but it was one of those things that it was an impulse buy. And I went ahead and bought it, but it was like a $90 clip. By the time I got it delivered to my house, it was like 93 bucks just to have this fancy clip. And more or less, the reason I got it is I scratched this clip literally the day I got it. I put the knife in my pocket, went in the kitchen, was messing around with some stuff, rubbed up against my counter and scraped it up. And so I was like pissed, like really pissed. So that's why I ordered the clip right away and I got the fancy one. But realizing that I can use this, beat it up all I want, now I don't care. If I ever get rid of the knife, I'll put the fancy one on there when I sell it. So that's kind of my thinking behind it. But anyway, the gear clip looks identical to this. It just has the gears on it. And if you guys have ever seen one or haven't seen one, you can go and see them at the Rick Hinder site. But they have all different colored ones and they're cool. They're pretty cool. They're pretty badass if you're a collector and you just want something that looks cool. Practicality of using one? No, probably not, but definitely a very cool clip. But this knife, yeah, I'm totally loving it as well, but this one's been baby. I haven't done much with this knife. It's still got the factory edge on it, everything. I'm not sure if I'm keeping it. That's why I'm trying to decide what I'm doing with this knife. Not that I don't like it. I like it a lot. I wanted to experience a Rick Hinder, and this was my first experience with one. If I get rid of it, it's going to probably be to get a XM18. 3.5-inch blade, or I'm going to be looking at one of the new Jurassics that they're talking about that are coming out. At some point, I'd like to get my hands on one of those possibly. So that's kind of where I'm at in the Rick Hinder world, because I really do want to get into one of their bigger knives, because I'm a bigger knife guy. I got this one because it fell in my lap at the right time, and I love the colors. I love the combination of colors and everything else on it. I think it's beautiful. So that's what that's about. Last one we're going to talk about here is my Medford. And this one here, I will tell you, I don't like the clip. I think the clip is not that great at all. The reason is it's way too loose. If you look at this clip, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a big gap between the clip and how it fits on the actual frame of the knife. So because of that gap, this thing's really loose in the pocket. I mean, it's not tight at all. That clip's just too loose. I have not taken it off because you got to have a proprietary tool to get it taken off. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this knife. There's a story here on the clip, actually. When I first bought this knife, if you look really, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on camera or not, but if you look really carefully, there's a big scratch that's underneath the MKT. And it's literally underneath it. They covered it up with the logo. However they do that with, I don't know if that's a decal or what it is. But when I first got the knife delivered to me, I did call them up on it. And I said, there's a big old scratch in this clip. I just got it delivered to me. I said, I don't think that's supposed to be there. Well, Medford did a great job. They stood behind it. Amy Medford actually called me herself and said, hey, I'm sorry if the clip's chipped. If there's an issue with the clip, etc., I'll send you another one. And so she actually did send me one out. Thank you very much, Amy. And she gave me the tool to take this one off so that I could replace it. I did not replace it yet because I figured if I'm going to use it, I'll go ahead and dirty this one up since it's already scratched up a little bit. And then if I end up turning the knife, if I decide I don't like it and I decide I want to turn it, I would put the new clip on before I turned it. So that was kind of my thinking there. So I have not put the new clip on there, but I will at some point. If I keep it, I'll probably put the new clip on. I'm hoping that it's going to fit tighter than this one does. And if so, I will share it with you, but I don't like that gap. To me, it just does not make it a great clip. It just doesn't. And the fact that you as a individual who doesn't have that tool, I was lucky to get it because of my situation, but if you don't have that proprietary tool to open it, I think you're going to have some issues because you can't bend it down. It's going to stay loose like that, and there's nothing you can do about it. So this clip was a little bit disappointing, to be honest. It's not ugly or anything like that. I think it's a good-looking clip. Again, I'm not so much into the marketing. I don't think you need to do that on a clip, but hey, I'm okay with it either way, but I'd prefer not to have it in a perfect world. By the way, this is a cool knife too. I really do like this knife as well. It can, you can fidget with it. I don't too much because I want to keep the integrity of the knife the way it is. My hands are sweaty right now, guys, so I apologize. It's a little bit warm in here where I'm doing the videos. But this clip I wanted to show you as well, and the fact that there's that gap there. It is better to have it tight against the frame so that it does, you have the security of not losing it, so if it gets caught on something, that knife's not just going to fly out of your pocket. And with these more expensive knives, that's obviously important. But that's the deal with that. I know I babbled a lot about clips. If you guys have any thoughts that you want to share with me, please put them in the comments below. If I'm misinterpreting something, please clarify it with me as I'm newer at this. I'm just strictly giving you guys an opinion. I'm not telling you right or wrong in any way on these knives. I'm just telling you what I personally like. I think that's what this is all about. I think we're just putting personal opinions out there and talking about what we like in this world and making friends along the way. So that's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to offend anybody as far as clips. I'm just trying to give you my perspective on what's worked for me being a newer knife guy and not doing this maybe for 20 years and having the depth that some of you do, but just coming in as more of a newbie and, my views on it from that angle. So that's kind of where I'm at with it all. But guys, thanks so much. I know I took a lot of your time here. If you did make it to the end of this, thank you. If you would subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm brand new at all this, and I could really use the subscribers. I'm going to try to build this channel up a little bit. And feel free to reach out if you want to talk knives. Appreciate it, guys. Signing off for now.